Hello, hi friends. I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, I know it's been a while since my last upload, but I've been busy. Lots been going on. Um, but I did want to take the time to share some information with y'all today. Ignore them. Um, Couple different things. So the main thing that I'm gonna discuss is my last closing, but there's a couple different talking points within that conversation. So listen closely. This is gonna be good. Good learning experience for a lot of you. So I think it was my last post that it was my most recent closing. So for those of you that have been following me for a while, y'all know I make a big deal out of closing. I love closing day with my clients. It's literally a whole day event. um, so when I have a closing and you don't see all the hoorah, it's an issue. And to tell you the truth, there's only been 2 closings in 7 years that I did not go to. Only 2. So I think my track record is okay. But yeah, so this is only the second closing in 7 years that I did not show up. It wasn't a pleasant experience, and I'm about to be raw and uncut. I'm about to keep it real. A lot of people now are trying to become real estate agents because the glitz and the glam, and everything looks a certain way, but nobody ever tells y'all about the BS that goes on. So that's why I'm gonna keep it real and make y'all aware that everything ain't what it look like, okay? And I'm it's hard for me to be fake, so I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. The majority of my transactions, my closings, are great. When I say they're great, they're great. So when I tell somebody it was a pleasure working with you, or if I say it was such a pleasure working with them, I'm being honest. I'm not just saying that because when it's not a pleasure, I'm gonna say that. And this last one was that. It wasn't a great experience. And it's been about probably 3 years since I've had an experience like this. This was only my second one in my whole real estate career. So it happens, everything isn't always what it seems. But get to it. This last client was a referral to me from another agent. This family relocated from Colorado. They had a house to sell in Colorado. So the agent that is listing their home, or that was selling their home, listing their home in Colorado, reached out to me because we know each other. We've been following each other. We see how each other works. So she knew when this family said they were moving to Houston, she instantly thought of me and referred them to me. No hard feelings towards her. She did her part, and I appreciate her for trusting me with her clients. With her referral. So referrals between agents, that's a whole another topic. I would love to have a discussion with new agents that don't understand how referrals work. I can have that talk too, but that's for another video. Today I'm discussing things that relates directly to buyers and sellers. Agent conversation is a different thing. But so they were a referral to me. She trusted me to help them find their home, and I did my part. I did my job. Now, I'm never comfortable with just doing my job. I love going above and beyond. What y'all don't know is that when you buy new construction, your agent is the only thing your agent have to do to get paid is walk with you in the door the first time you visit a community. They don't ever have to go back. They don't ever have to go to any of your walkthroughs, your inspections, your closing. They don't ever have to see that house again. That's the bare minimum. I've never been like that. I always go above and beyond and be extra with my clients, because I don't like my clients to feel like, they've been thrown out to the wolves and like, what do we do now? Angie's not here. I don't know what questions to ask. I don't know what these people are talking about. So I like to be there. I like to earn my commission. Okay, there's a lot of agents, we have this stigma that like, y'all don't do nothing, they don't do nothing for their money, and I don't like to be a part of that. So I like to work for mine. Okay, and I like spending time with my clients. So but with this particular client, so they were already here in Houston. They had already moved here from Colorado. They were living with their parents until they find a home. So I was not aware that they had a home to sell in Colorado. When this agent referred them to me, she didn't mention that piece. That was very important. I needed to know that. In brackets, let me touch on that selling piece. If you are ever relocating somewhere or staying in the same city and just buying another house, you always want to make sure that you my suggestion, now you do what you want to do, but my professional experience and my advice would be, if you have a home to sell and you want to buy another home, I suggest in most cases, if you can't afford both mortgages, or if you don't even qualify for a new mortgage with your existing mortgage, wait before you start shopping and going under contract with the new home. Get your home on the market first. Accept an offer, get through inspection and appraisal. Once you get through inspection and appraisal, then you start looking for your home, and you go under a contract at that time. Because when you're selling a home, inspection and appraisal are the two biggest hurdles you have to get over. And a buyer can, just because they paid their earnest money, this is what I need sellers to understand. Buyers back out all the time. So just because you accept an offer, don't automatically assume that this person is buying a house and we're gonna close. Don't automatically assume that just because you accept an offer. Different things can happen, different things can change. Either, you both have to agree on the inspection terms. You both have to agree on the appraisal. If there's an issue with either of those, that buyer can walk away. And as long as they're within, your contingency period, they can get their earnest money back and walk away and go find another house. Now, guess what? You're stuck putting your house back on the market, waiting for another buyer, going through the whole process all over again. So don't ever think anything is guaranteed just because you accept an offer. I suggest, before you go under contract for your new home, your next home, wait until you pass inspection and appraisal. Okay, so the issue with them, so I didn't know, like I said, I was not informed that they were selling a house. She just told me, hey Angie, I got some clients, I want to refer to you, they need to buy a house in Houston. Never told me they would list a home. Had I known that they had a home to list, I would not have gotten in my car. My first question would have been, are you under contract? Have you passed inspection? Have you passed appraisal? Are you out of your contingency period? Okay, boom, now we can shop. Those are the questions I would have asked if the agent had told me that they had a home on the market. But I wasn't given that information, so she told me they needed to find a house, and when somebody told me they need to find a house, I'm on it. I jump on it real quick, okay? Because I feel like that's a huge responsibility for me to help you find somewhere to live. That's big, you know. So so I got on it and immediately started, you know, getting things together. Wanted to make sure they were pre-approved. She did put them with the lender before sending them to me. An out-of-state lender. If y'all watch my videos, y'all know how I feel about out-of-state lenders. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. So they did get pre-approval from an out-of-state lender. Not too familiar with Texas or Houston, so yeah, the pre-approval was no good. This buyer was prior Army, so he's got 100% VA disability. Whole nother ball game, okay? When you go 100% disability, disabled, everything changes financially, especially when it comes to buying a house. Numbers look different, everything changes, okay? So the amount he approved them for was $380, and just from knowing what I know, my experience, I knew he could go a lot higher than that. So they came to me with this letter, $380, and I was like, this don't sound right. This doesn't sound right. So he told me what they could afford monthly, and I definitely knew, like, no, y'all can definitely go higher than. So I did what I had to do to help them. End up getting them approved for up to $500, just because of what I know, because of my experience. Got them approved for up to $500,000. They had already been shopping before I got with them. They were trying to find something under $380. They have a big family. The area where they want to live on that coastal side of Houston, in this particular school district, which is a really nice area, great school. It ain't cheap. It's a little pricey over there. So for what they were looking for, they were not going to get it for $380. So I was happy that I was able to get them approved for more. Took them out to this community and found a great house. It was over $380, but it was under $500. They didn't even need to go all the way up to $500 to get what they needed. So that was a great thing. So found the perfect house, big house, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, had a junior master suite. I mean, just open, just huge, open. Really nice house. Had a flex room and everything. So this is the house that we went for. They decided to sign, pay their earnest deposit that day and sign the purchase agreement. Then, that's when their Colorado home came up, which at this point I still didn't know about it. So I found out that day after they had paid the earnest deposit, and I'm like, no, we doing things out of order, and I am not one to do things out of order. I can't function like that. So I have my system, my set ways of doing things that works, and I like to stick to that. So once this Colorado house came up, I reached back to the agent that referred them to me and talked to her about this listing that I didn't know about. And she apologized. She knew that, she should have told me about it. So now we're back at square one. They were under contract at that time, but it fell apart because the buyer and the seller could not agree on the inspection, the repairs that the buyer wanted. The sellers were not able to make them happy. They couldn't agree on making all the repairs that the buyer asked for. So the buyer decided to walk away, and that happens. They are allowed to. So that buyer walked away. Guess what? Now this house has to go back on the market. You don't know when another buyer is going to come. The house needs all these repairs. So how do you know the next buyer is going to be okay with you not making those repairs? You don't know how much longer this house is going to be on the market. So that one fell through. That buyer walked away. Now the house is back on the market. And I told them, listen, had I known that y'all had a house on the market, I would have told you that you need to wait until you pass inspection and pass appraisal. So they didn't like that. I mean, I keep it real, I'm honest, and I'm straight up. Like, I don't beat around the bush. And so that's what I advised them. Like, listen, now that I know you have a home on the market, I don't advise you to move forward with this contract, because now that that one just fell out of contract, that buyer walked away, you're going back on the market. You don't know when it's gonna sell. So if we close on this new house, you're gonna end up with 2 mortgages. Can you afford that? Will the lender approve you to have 2 mortgages? Or was this new loan contingent upon the sale of your first home? And it was. So they didn't like the fact that I came in and, established order and provided guidance, and they weren't happy about that. They were happy when we found the house, and they were happy that I got them approved for up to 500. But when I said, okay, Eric, hold up, pump your brakes. Let's not put the cart before the horse. They didn't like that. So they went back to their agent, and the Colorado agent, and asked her, could we just do this by ourselves? Do we have to work with an agent? And she told them, well, I mean, she helped you find this house. She's working with the builder. She's already on your contract. So whether you work with her from this point on or not, she's still going to get paid. So that's up to you. So they didn't want any more communication with me, because I tried to save them from themselves. What I was telling them was the right thing to do. It's not always, you're not always gonna like the truth, but the truth is what's really gonna help you. So they listened to me, even though they didn't like what I said. They still listened, and they canceled the contract on this new house here in Houston. Time went on. Finally got another buyer for the Colorado home. And again, I suggested, wait, before we move forward with this house, wait until you pass inspection and appraisal on that house. You don't have to completely close on that house, but just get over your first 2 hurdles, and then, execute here. But they didn't like that. They didn't like it. Now, as a little bit more time went on, we found a second house, the same floor plan as the first one that they fell in love with, the big 5-bedroom house. We found a second one. There was a second one in the same community that was available. And it's an inventory home. I told y'all them inventory homes is where it's at. Inventory home, already built, already completed. So it had really good incentives, like too good to pass up. So I told them, okay, listen, I know y'all are getting impatient. You don't like living with, in your mom's house with all your kids. So you want a home as soon as possible. What you can do, you can go ahead and move forward with this house so we don't lose it like you lost the first one. But just understand the risks involved if this buyer walks away from your Colorado home. You're going to be stuck with 2 mortgages. And they were okay with taking that chance. The agent there had faith that this one was going to go through, because they weren't as, particular about this new buyer wasn't as particular about the repairs as the first buyer was, the one that walked away. So she felt confident that this one was going to close. So we went ahead and jumped on this one so that they wouldn't lose the incentives on this second house, the second 5-bedroom house. And then they just stopped communicating with me. I'm like, closing is 2 weeks away. I haven't heard anything about walkthroughs or inspection or anything. So I contacted the sales agent and I asked her, hey, do you have any dates for them yet? And she gave me all the days. Here's the inspection day, here's the walkthrough day, here's the closing day. I'm like, oh, interesting. When were they going to tell me? They didn't plan on telling me. They didn't plan on telling me, sharing their dates with me. So I assumed that they didn't want me around. So, but I reached out to them anyway. And I asked them, I said, you know, I just received your dates for your walkthroughs and everything. And it was just not, it was the vibes. Didn't pass the vibe check. It was a lot of negative energy. So at that point, that's when I said, okay, I'm done. Because everything that I do with my clients, like I said, is extra. I only have to walk in the door with you one time. I don't ever have to see you again to get a check. But I put in a lot of time, a lot of thought, and money on closing gifts and gas and, you know, just driving back and forth, meeting, you know, doing all these appointments at the house with you and everything, at your closing and everything. That's all from, you know, the goodness of my heart, because I love what I do. So, the attitude that I was getting from this buyer and his wife, I was like, they don't deserve me. They don't. So I left them alone. I backed up. I, you know, took a seat, and I didn't do anything else. I didn't call them anymore. I did not show up to, you know, any of their appointments. What's funny is, mind you, they did ask their agent, could we do this without a realtor? They wanted to try to do this without me, but they still had so many questions. Documents they were receiving, numbers, things they didn't understand. Guess who they was calling? They were calling the sales agent. The sales agent that works for the builder. Trying to, you know, ask her all these questions. She works for the builder. She doesn't represent you. It's not her job to break down everything for you and explain your loan documents to you. And, you know, that's not her job. That's why they're paying me. But you tried to bypass me and, you know, knowing you need help, and try to get the help from her. She's not your agent. She works for the builder. They're paying me to help you. But they wanted me to think that they didn't need me. But yet you calling her, and guess how I found out? She called me. She called me and told me that they had been calling her and texting her, and, you know, with all these questions. I was like, interesting. Yeah, it was an experience that I don't like. I don't want to have that again. Working with clients like that makes me, you know, think twice about real estate. So I kind of had to take a little break to myself, take some time to myself after that, because, you know, and like I said, I didn't show up to their closing, so there are no pictures. It was not a good experience, and I don't want to have that again. Like I said, when I say it was a pleasure working with my clients, whenever I say that, trust me, it's the truth. Because when it's not a pleasure, y'all don't know. So yeah, their buying experience, they didn't get the whole closing with Angelique experience. They missed out on that, because I don't do negative energy. And me showing up to their closing, knowing that they didn't want me there, I wasn't gonna do that, because I'm one to protect my peace, and I don't like putting myself in, you know, negative spaces with negative energy. They can have it. The builder's still gonna pay me. And I hate to say that, because that's not how I work. I like, you know, earning my check and going above and beyond for my clients. I love doing, you know, the whole closing experience and making it memorable. Buying your first house or buying any house, it's always a, you know, great thing to do. So I don't know, all I can say is, you know, good luck to them. Congratulations to them. I'm happy I could do my part. It's just really weird that, you know, they didn't get this attitude until after they found out they were qualified for up to 500 with my help. I got them up to 500, and then they turned around and gave me their asses to kiss. So, you know, hey, like I said, I did my job though. I don't know. That goes back to one of the previous videos that I made where I was talking about becoming a diva after you get approved for a home loan. Some people are just so, you know, so humble when they think that they don't qualify, or when they think that they qualify for a lower amount, and then when they find out they qualify for a home loan or for a higher amount, their attitude just gets stinks, and they change, and you know, they just start being a diva, and just the head blow up. It gets to their head that, you know, they can buy a house now. And I've dealt with that, and I had to check it. And it's funny that, you know, I make these videos and I only talk from experience. So it's crazy that I just posted that video a few videos ago, and then now it actually happens again. They just totally flipped the script once they found out they qualify for more. It's crazy. I don't like working with people like that. So if you don't know how to remain humble and grateful, I'm not the agent for you. I don't deal with negative energy. I don't deal with people treating me any kind of way, because I do real estate not because I have to. I chose real estate. I do it because I love it. And working with people like that can make me hate my job. So that's why I stay away from them. I don't want to be around or force myself to work with anybody that makes me hate real estate. I had to remind myself, I chose real estate. I do real estate because I love it, the passion that I have for it. And if a bad client comes along, the beauty in real estate is that I get to choose my clients. I get to say, oh yeah, I'll work with this person. I get to say, I'm good, I don't want to work with this person. I get to say that. And so that comes with protecting my peace. There are some agents that are just desperate for a sale, and they let clients drag them and treat them any kind of way. Not me. I ain't the one. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't the one. As much as I love my job, I'm not gonna let anybody treat me any kind of way because they think that I'm desperate for a check. Listen, that I have other streams of income. Real estate is not my only bread and butter. So yeah, what you're not gonna do is mistreat me, and you know, I don't do that. I don't do the negative energy. All of my clients that's been around me, that we enjoy each other, and you know, we enjoy the process. So I'm not gonna let anybody drag me. I'm sorry. I see it happen a lot. A lot of these agents, especially the new ones, even some older ones, when they're desperate for a check and you know this is all they have to depend on, they allow their clients to walk them like a dog. Angelique Pie ain't with it. I don't do that. So don't try it over here. Because I will not. You're not gonna get. No. So multiple lessons here in this video. One, if you cannot be humble and just enjoy the experience, if you have negative energy, Angelique Pie is not the agent for you, and I will refuse service. Two, if you have a house to sell, you can still buy another house, but for me, I advise you to get through inspection and appraisal before you start another contract. If you're not comfortable paying 2 mortgages, the reason that happens is because you don't know when your first house is going to sell. You don't know how long it's going to be on the market. So why go shopping for another house, get under contract, close in 30 days, and you don't know when the first house is going to sell? You're going to be stuck with 2 mortgages. Now, if you're okay with paying those 2 mortgages, then by all means, you know, if your lender says that you still qualify for your second loan with your first loan, by all means, let's shop. But if your new home if your new home loan is contingent on selling the first house, hold your horses, my dogs. Hold your horses. Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't do it. Okay, just be patient. Everything will fall into place. What's the other lesson here? I think that's it. Yeah. Just don't play with me. Positive vibes only over here. Oh, that's the other thing, yeah, but about agents. Understand that with new construction, agents or any sale of a house is not mandatory. We're not required to be at your closing. We're not required to be at your inspections. We're not required to be at any of your walkthroughs. The ones that do is because we care. Okay, so just know that if you have an agent that is there for you throughout the whole transaction, just know that you have an agent that cares. Okay, so I hope I made those points clear, and you know, more you know, you understand it better now that you hear a real life situation. Oh, and of course, for those of you that want to become an agent or have become an agent just because of the glitz and the glamour, everything that you see on social media, it ain't always like that. We're gonna come, you know, face to face with some clients that are just, it's just so many different personalities. You never know what you're gonna get. It's up to you to set your boundaries and decide what your tolerance level is, and yeah, what you're gonna tolerate. So, whole lot in one video, but I think it's very valuable information. Like I said, you know, I'm not calling any names. I'm not putting no pictures up, showing them, nothing like that. I really wanted to provide you all with the real life experience. And, you know, I always show y'all the good. I want to keep it real and let you know when things aren't so good either. That's the world of real estate. It's a lot of capping going on. A lot of agents, you know, get online and, you know, be flashy and pretending everything is, you know, it's not all that. There are ups and downs, okay? So don't be fooled. Don't be thinking, oh, it looks so easy, I could do that. Don't think that. There are ups and downs, but when it's your passion, and the good will outweigh the bad, and you don't let one negative situation, you know, knock you off your shit. And sometimes that does happen to me, and that's kind of why I left real estate briefly last year, just because I wasn't happy with some things that were going on. So I came back, and I'm happy I'm back. I've been happy I'm back. I've had great clients since being back up until this one. But it's not gonna run me away again. I'm still here and I'm still going. I just went to see one of my clients' homes today. So I'm not giving up, you know, put that behind me. And I only continue to work with them because this agent referred them to me. And I wanted to keep her trust. Otherwise, I'd have been like, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm the agent for you. You're gonna have to find somebody else. Yeah, I would have walked away from a check, because what you're not gonna do is treat me crazy, okay? Especially after I've helped you. I put you in a much better situation than what you came to me in. I provided the guidance that you so desperately needed, you know? So, yeah, agents don't fall for all the glitz and glamour and all the capping that you see. Um, New agents and aspiring agents, just know there are ups and downs. You're going to meet so many different people, so many different personalities, so you just have to decide what you're going to tolerate. So that's it for me. I'm gonna get off here. I just wanted to share that experience with y'all and have a moment of realness, so y'all know that I am a real person. I'm a professional, but I'm Angelique Pye, still from Miami-Dade County. That don't change. So yeah, nobody's gonna walk all over me. Nobody's gonna walk me like a dog or treat me any kind of way. Okay. But anyway, that's it. If anybody got any questions, please feel free to reach out. Y'all know my info is going to be below. Let's connect on social media. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to this channel. You can also call me, text me, email me, however you want to communicate. And, let's discuss whatever you have questions about. Always happy to help. In a positive space, good energy. Please don't come at me crazy. Good energy, good vibes only. All right, y'all.